Good journey, everyone. Welcome to Space Oats podcast. I am the Crucial Crew member and super excited this week. I hope that I'm actually streaming. I think so. All right, I think everything's good. All right, yeah. So I am the Crucial Crew member. This is a Space Oats podcast, a Crucial Crew podcast. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week with Star Wars. So welcome. Thank you for joining in. If you are joining, I do see you. I do have one person here already, and thank you for joining in. Cool, awesome. So I am using a new platform, just so everybody knows. So I might be a little bit off, but just trying to see how this works a little bit and make sure that I'm able to see and all the chats and everything. So I might be just a little off in the beginning. Once everything's running, I should be good. So, welcome everyone. I was actually going to be watching Star Wars too. Why do I not have Star Wars playing in my room right now? It's what helps me relax, right? I can't do a podcast unless I actually have Star Wars in the background. That's just my thing. So I obviously got to make sure that there's no sound, which I don't think there is, which is great. But yeah, I'm putting on A New Hope right now. So and also I gotta get my drink. So my drink this evening is gonna be some sake. So we're gonna crack that open right now. So got a chilled Galactic Star Cruiser glass ready for me, and I'm a big sake fan. So actually, you know what? I should have shaken that up a little bit before I opened it, because it is cloudy sake. I don't know if anybody's had cloudy sake before, but it does kind of fall to the bottom, so you got to kind of mix it up a little bit. So, but anyway, man, yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Bad Batch, season 3, episode 14, Tipping Point, which aired last week. We are also going to talk about The Mandalorian, chapter 20, The Foundling. That was last week's episode. That was amazing as well. We're going to talk about Star Wars Celebration, leaving for London next Wednesday. Super excited about that, obviously. There's a lot of stuff in connection with that can't wait to share with you, honestly. I got approval to share it with you. I wasn't sure if I was able to share it with you, but I did get approval to share it with you. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there to all my listeners. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk a little bit about a little amazing thing that happened in Star Wars history today, something that I have never seen before. And we'll get your thoughts if you had the ability to do this. But something I always wanted to do, and it's on my bucket list. And then, of course, my crucial character pick of the month. That's an exciting thing that I've been doing once a month. And if you don't know about that, I will kind of review that a little bit when I get to that part of my show. So let's get started with Bad Batch. So Bad Batch episode, season 3, episode 14, Tipping Point. Last week's episode. Curious about everybody's thoughts on that. Curious about everybody's thoughts on Bad Batch episode 14 of season 3. So this episode, Tipping Point, definitely is looking like this week is the last 2 episodes. This week we have the last 2 episodes dropping, which are going to be, what are the last 2 episodes entitled? I had it up a second ago, and I lost it. Let's see here. Star Wars episode this week is going to be The Summit and Plan 99. The Summit and Plan 99. So Tipping Point looks like it was setting everything that's going to happen up. So we got a little bit of we see Echo coming back in this one. We got Gregor. Gregor's back. That was pretty cool to see Gregor back with Echo, and it starts off with them basically rescuing some clones, and then when they're trying to figure out where the clones are going, Echo starts to download the information, but they can't get to it in time because they're about to, Star Destroyers are coming, and they have to basically bail. They did get some of the information, but it's very highly encrypted, and in the process, the officer that is commanding that ship basically commits suicide. So obviously, it's one of those scenarios where if he's basically probably told if he gets caught, he probably would go ahead and sacrifice himself because he would wish he was dead if that's not the case. So, you know how that is. I mean, who would want to face like Vader or anybody else in the Empire when you basically give up great intel? So we had some really cool rescue going on there with some deception with that little pod that kind of went off and detached. It was almost like felt like a little bit of a heist, but it's a rescue mission as well. So it was really cool. I enjoyed the beginning of it, and then we kind of went to Talos. We got to see Talos a little bit more with Crosshair. Anytime we shoot Crosshair, it's great. So Crosshair, they're interrogating him because basically they realize that that they need to get Omega. Is they're seeking that information, and since Crosshair knows the way Clone Force 99 works, they're hoping he can give them some kind of intel on how they think, where they are, so they can get a hold of Omega and find Omega. So they're basically, they go with if you help us, we'll help you type of deal. Crosshair, doesn't budge. They start to torture him. He's withstanding the torture. There's an escape attempt. I knew that was gonna happen. There's no way he's gonna escape. He was just. It was interesting to see because Crosshair dead on in his aim, and you saw the entire time while he's trying to escape, he's missing his mark and everything like that. So you kind of feel for him, with the attempt, but you knew it wasn't going to happen. You kind of have a feeling that he probably knew it wasn't going to happen either. But that wasn't his goal. He kind of achieved his goal. I don't think it was not to escape. It was basically to send a message to Clone Force 99 to get him out of there, which he did. He was successful in that. So we saw him send out the message. Then we go to Pabu, right? Pabu. I think that's what that one's called. Pabu. Pabu. I thought I had a viewer, but I guess I didn't. Pabu, we'll go back to that planet. We see Omega learning how to pilot, or she's doing her piloting skills with tech, which is really cool. Doing a good job at that, I think. And we then see Echo and everybody get there, and basically Echo is looking for tech to descramble this information to try to figure out what's going on, where these clones are, where they're taking these clones. They also end up getting the message from Crosshair, and they're kind of not sure about this. Whether they're going to rescue him or not. Obviously, that's the direction that it's going. And I think a lot of things are happening in this whole tipping point theme here. We see Tarkin. We basically see he's fed up with the clones. That there's going to basically just be almost like a genocide. That's what I'm feeling. Rising Moons, Mike, how you doing this evening? I know we're already starting off talking about Bad Batch, and I know you don't like the animated series, but we're just talking about Bad Batch a little bit. First off, just to get planned for it. It's the last 2 episodes this week, so you won't have to. Besides next week, you'll hear me talk. My final results. You're not going to hear me talk about Bad Batch for a while, I'm guessing. It'll be all Mandalorian after that. Happy to listen, right? Yeah, that's good to hear. I appreciate it. As far as the last 2 episodes of Bad Batch, the summit. I mean, obviously, the first episode of the final 2 is going to then be basically rescuing or the attempt to rescue Crosshair. Basically, that mountain on Talos, they're going to be heading there. So I can see that happening. That's probably what that title is referring to. And then Plan 99, and there's a lot of rumors out there, and I almost kind of like I think I agree with them. I think Omega is gonna basically sacrifice herself for the freedom of Crosshair, which is basically gonna set up season 3 of the Bad Batch. So I think it's gonna leave with a big cliffhanger of Omega basically getting captured and Crosshair being released, which is gonna be really. The tipping point of Crosshair last week's episode, which goes along with that title, is he has finally realized that he's worthless to the Empire. He's basically just being used as a pawn. They're not gonna help him out in any way, even if he gave them any information on where Omega might be. So I think there's going to be one last attempt at that where it's going to come down to that decision, and then he's going to turn on the Empire. He's going to be saved. Omega's going to be captured, and then that's going to set up season 3. So that's my guess. I know that's a lot of other people's guess. Kind of cliche to go with everybody, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. And then season 3 is going to be all about getting back Omega, finding Omega, getting back Omega. Obviously, they're going to take her off of Talos, whether they go to Coruscant or somewhere else, another base of operations for cloning. Who knows what's going to happen there. Maybe we'll see Navarro. Maybe we'll see the origins of that cloning facility that we saw in Mandalorian to kind of tie everything together. Because I think a lot of this is tying together with all that's going on with Dr. Pershing and the Mandalorian. I think this is kind of like precursor to all that, and how what we're seeing in the Mandalorian now. I think a lot of what is going on in the Bad Batch is foreshadowing all of that to come, which is pretty cool that they're tying all of this together, which is, again, the reason why I knew that there was some sort of reason why they might have been overlapping these episodes, like the final episodes of Bad Batch and the beginning of Mandalorian, because I think that there's connections there. I think there's a reason for that. So yeah, I think there's going to be some sort of like hint and tie-in to all of that. So I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out how it all ends. It drops tonight, the last 2 episodes. So I will be watching first thing tomorrow morning. So enough about Bad Batch. Let's talk about The Mandalorian. So The Mandalorian chapter 20 last week, The Foundling. Interesting episode. Kind of like a little bit of a side episode, but still enough information to keep us enticed on, especially Bo-Katan's story and which direction she's going. in this way, in this case. So yeah, the Foundling. So we begin the episode on, and I don't know, did they name that planet? I can't remember if they've named that planet that they're on currently. That like, almost like, it almost seems like it's the rocky part of like the Junlin Wastes of Tatooine, kind of similar to that type of planet, except for with water. except for with water. And I don't know if they named that planet, honestly. Can't remember if they've named that planet. But it basically starts off kind of like that one episode with the big alligator creature that comes out. Is like, I think that was in the first episode, actually, of the Mandalorian season 3, when he goes and basically searches out the covert. But this time they're just kind of like on the beach. They're doing target practice in the water with some things. They're doing like sparring with each other, all that good stuff. So we see all that going on. We see Grogu down by the beach, kind of just messing with these little hermit crab-like creatures, which is pretty cool. They were pretty neat, as far as something cool that we've never seen before. At first, it almost looked like I thought he was doing stuff with the Force with them, but then we soon find out that that's not the case. He's just like watching them poor crabs, especially the one that he picks up. I thought for sure he was gonna like suck it out of there and eat it, but he didn't. Din comes over and basically, grabs him and says, "All right, enough playtime. We're gonna learn how to learn how to train like a Mandalorian." So getting some more training in. The previous weeks we saw him kind of teaching him how to learn how to navigate a little bit, and now we're seeing him get into the actual fighting. So he wants to put Grogu out there and spar with some of the other foundlings or younglings in the group there. So he sets up a challenge with Grogu with one of the other younglings, who turns out to be Paz Vizsla's son, but we don't know that at the time. You don't know that at that moment. And Paz Vizsla kind of, or the son, basically says, to the extent that he's not Mandalorian. Why doesn't he wear a helmet? He's too young to fight, because he's not old enough to wear a helmet yet. And of course, they come back with that reply back that it's I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was it basically was like a belief. You don't know what you're seeing. Maybe you're not worthy if you can't really see what into everybody. You don't look at the appearance. Basically, is kind of what he was saying. Is you don't look at the appearance and judge by the appearance. So they kind of give him these little training darts, which almost like it's like the same size as Grogu's arm. Bo puts it on, and she kind of makes this little joke about my father was the same way when I was younger, which is kind of funny. It's a little moment between Bo-Katan and Grogu there, which is pretty cool. Grogu kind of just looks at the other youngling Mandalorian, and immediately the first dart right in the chest, and he kind of just like looks up at Din like, what? And he's like, don't look at me, look at him, and then does it again and hits him the second time, and Grogu just doesn't even move. And then finally Din just basically says, look, I know what you can do. I've seen what you can do. Show him what you can do. Don't be afraid. And then, as Mike says, Grogu is jumping around like prequel Yoda with Dooku, which is kind of a little bit cheesy, honestly. But it's fun. It's fun to watch. We got that a little bit in season 2 when Grogu was with Luke. All that jumping around and things like that. And I mean, obviously, it's going to be hard to make that look believable. but it's fun. It's fun to see, and I agree with it. I laughed when I saw it, but and then Grogu basically jumps over him once, jumps over again, boom, 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 3 times, and he's done. So yeah, Grogu won a fight. The Mandalorian youngling kind of goes off. He's kind of like probably, just a little bit disappointed in himself in that way. Goes down by the water, and then we see up on the cliffs a kind of like a pterodactyl like bird like fly over and comes down and grabs him and takes him away. And of course, they immediately go off to follow him. Paz Vizsla, Din Djarin, and I think one more Mandalorian. I think it was 3 total. Rocket off after him. They're flying for quite a good time, and as I knew that was going to happen, I was like, there's no way there's enough fuel in their jetpacks. And like, even when I watched it the second time with my wife, she like said this, she's like, no, there's no way they're going to be able to, how do they have that much fuel? And I'm like, I didn't even say anything. I'm like, just wait. And then all of a sudden, they start sputtering out and dropping each one at a time. And then all of a sudden you look overhead and you see Bo-Katan fly over and chase after. So kind of thought that it was going to like just be her saving him and then bringing him back. But instead she comes back and basically says, she found where the nest is, but she couldn't attack because if she attacked, then, it would have caused harm to the youngling. So they kind of create this task force to go after to rescue, like a rescue mission. Grogu gets left behind with the armorer, which is pretty cool because we have a little bit of a side story with the armorer and Grogu and like a little bit more initiation, I guess, from winning the fight. So he gets a little bit more of a piece of armor attached to his what Din gave him earlier, had made for him. So he gets that Mudhorn symbol, which is the clan of 2, which was Din and Grogu representing. And yeah, so he gets another little piece of armor that he'll grow into a little bit because it is kind of oversized with that. Now, during that whole process, we see flashbacks, which this is probably one of my favorite parts of the episode. And I'm sure everybody, as soon as we saw this, we're like, okay, we're going to get more of how Grogu escaped from the Jedi Temple. And it kind of leaves us off kind of where we were when we've seen the flashbacks before. The Jedi, the clones coming in, the Jedi like getting taken out. He gets into the elevator goes down, and then now we see something new. The doors open, and as Mike says, welcome back, Ahmad. Ahmad Best, Jar Jar Binks himself. Good to see him back. It was really cool. So this is Jedi Kelleran Beck, which really awesome. Oh my goodness, he was shining so good. I really, really, I'm so happy for him to be able to come back, shine in this way, and really show his skills as a Jedi, which is really cool. We got him dueling with 2 lightsabers, taking out a bunch of clones. He gets on a speeder with Grogu. There's a cool chase scene going through Coruscant. We see that same section that we saw earlier where Dr. Pershing was there with the mountain in that little square area. They show that spot as they're like flying through. They get to a platform. He says he's got some friends waiting for him. We see the platform. As you're coming down, you see the Naboo starship, which is amazing to see. You're like, oh, whoa. It's kind of funny, because Ahmed Best, Jar Jar Binks, his friends being from Naboo, which is funny because, he played Jar Jar Binks from Naboo. So that was a pretty cool little Easter egg there. He lands on the platform, hard landing. Okay. Basically, the Naboo guards come out, the royal guards come out, and then a clone gunship comes down. They get out. the Naboo guards, they basically start, security force start firing on the clones. They basically say, take the ship. They're sacrificing themselves for his escape. He gets on the ship, he flies away. So what is this gonna what is this gonna say about where Grogu was? Was he on Naboo hidden? Was he with the Gungans? Did they hide him with the Gungans underwater? Is that what happened? Who sent the ship? Jar Jar. That might be. That might be. Maybe it's Padme's family. Who knows? Who could be involved in this that could be hiding him? I honestly, my feelings is that it's more of the Jar Jar and the Gungan side. Maybe Padme's family is helping out, and that's why you see the Naboo Royal starship. But I do believe, like Mike said, I believe that it's that Jar Jar's involved as well. And I think Grogu actually gets hidden with the Gungans because obviously they're really good at hidden cities. And I really do. I think they are the ones that hid Grogu, and then maybe something happened a little bit later, and somehow Grogu got taken, and that's how he ended up on that other planet where Mando found him in the first season. But I think he ends up with the Gungans. I think he really does. So we go flashback, then we start going into the whole rescue of Paz Vizsla's son. They take Bo-Katan's ship. They have to land far enough away where the creature doesn't hear them to startle. We get the rest of the camp on foot. One of the things my wife actually asked me before the episode was, because they're all with the helmets. It was when we're doing the flashbacks of the previous week's episode, and basically they were saying, you can't remove your helmet. She's like, how do they eat? How do they eat? Like that. This episode kind of really explains it. And she's like, okay. And then we get that whole scene with them sitting around the fire, and Bo-Katan actually basically asks the question, how do we eat? When they start passing out the rations. And then Din Djarin basically explains that you go and you walk and you find your spot where you can eat by yourself in solitary, which is when you can take off your helmet so that no one else sees. But of course, Bo-Katan, because she's the leader of the group, of the hunt, or the rescue mission, she gets to stay by the fire. We see her take off her helmet for the first time. She looks great for being in that helmet for so long. Yeah, so you just see this almost in her face, like, what am I doing? Is this the life I want? You can still see that she's second guessing herself, maybe. I don't know. Like, I just feel her face said a lot. Like, I don't know if she's fully invested yet. With the creed. So I don't know. We'll see. But they carry on with the mission. They end up getting to the nest. Paz Vizsla this is kind of where we find out that, it is his son, because when they get up into the nest, he gets really overly excited. They see the heat source, which, thinking it's his son, it's not. It's the babies of the pterodactyl creature, which they start screaming. And then the pterodactyl creature comes down and basically hacks up, because how birds regurgitate the food. Don't know where he was up until that time, because obviously they spent a whole night without going for him. So I don't know, like, where the son was. That's kind of weird that he was not harmed and then swallowed and regurgitated and still not harmed. I guess the helmet thing. We learned that Mandalorians with their helmets can actually breathe underwater, so maybe the son had time to activate that if he had that on his suit where he could survive in the stomach of the bird. I don't know. I doubt we'll ever get an explanation for that. But yeah, so the pterodactyl takes him off again, and then they go after him. Again, another jetpack chase. Yeah, so Paz Vizsla gets kind of knocked out of that. Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, and the others kind of wrestle in the air with the pterodactyl creature. Bo-Katan actually loses a shoulder piece in the fight. Finally, get the son free. Din Djarin swoops in, saves him. This is, and then they have a little moment. The son and Paz Vizsla. They get back to the covert. Bo-Katan goes in to see the armorer. Because of her deeds, they go ahead and repair her shoulder piece. They ask her if she wants the Night Owl signet on her shoulder piece. She asks about having the Mythosaur. The armorer tells her the Mythosaur belongs to all Mandalorians, so she can wear both the Night Owl and the Mythosaur, which kind of explains why Fett has both. Because I was kind of like thinking, why does Fett have the Mythosaur and the Fett emblem? From way back on the action figures, you saw both of them, the Fett clan and the Mythosaur on Boba Fett. So this explains why you can have two. The Mythosaur belongs to all Mandalorians, so they can have their own family clan signet, and then also the Mythosaur signet. So you can have two on your suit. So she basically brings up to the armor, what if I told you I saw one? And, basically it's all about, where, is it a vision? You saw it in a vision? She says, no, seen it for real. And she said, this is the way. Don't know, like, what the armor is thinking at this point. Does the armor believe her? If she does believe her, how's that going to go? Yeah, I'm curious as to why she revealed that. Does she still not believe herself that she's seen one? So, a lot of questions going into this week's episode of The Mandalorian. Don't know what the title is yet. Love how they hold off the title because you can't guess what everything's going on. But it was nice to see Keller and Beck. Ahmad Best, that was an amazing thing. The Naboo guards, everything there. Yeah, so it was good. Grogu is making his way as a foundling. So it was a fun episode. A lot about, a lot of different cool things going on in that episode. I like it when we just have one location. We're not jumping around a lot because we get a lot of story. And there was a good amount of story in that one. We learned a lot. Had some flashbacks. It was all good. So yeah, hope everybody loved that episode. Can't wait for tonight. Can't wait for, obviously I'm not watching it tonight, but too late for me. But tomorrow morning, got Bad Batch, an hour's worth. It's got 2 episodes, and Mandalorian. So 2 hours worth of Star Wars tomorrow. Who could beat that? It's like a new movie. All right, so now that we're done talking about The Mandalorian, let's talk about Star Wars Celebration. Oh, man, I forgot to bring up my badges. I did post my badges. Actually, let's see if I can't bring them up real quick. Let's see here. If I can pull my badges up, I will share. This is one reason why I'm doing this new platform, because I want to be able to share my screen. And I did take a picture of my badges. So when I did Star Wars Celebration, when I went for the tickets, I could not get the... You don't need no stinking badges. Apparently you do. It would be nice if you didn't need badges. But I'm pretty sure you need badges. But, I don't know. Maybe you don't need the badges, but I'm taking them. Be afraid not to. But yeah, so when I went to go buy Celebration tickets this year, this is the first year that I've tried and was not able to get a 4-day pass. Yeah, you do. I appreciate it. I thought so. I just know in this day and age with all digital stuff, who knows? Um, I did, yeah. I already did that. I already registered them, so I'm good there. Yeah. So let me show my badges real quick. Let me share that. Let's set this on screen. We're gonna go here, photos, and share. There we go. There's my badges. So my badges, panel signs were given out the other. Yeah, I'm sore spot for that because I missed it. I missed registering for the panels, so I did not get any. But honestly, you know what? Every year I've done celebrations since this whole Lightning Lane virtual panel thing. I've never gotten the live stage. So I probably, wasn't going to get the live stage this year. So don't matter. It'll be like every other year, honestly. The best thing I've ever gotten was the Galaxy stage one year. That was like the best thing I got. So, but I did get my Lightning Lane for the store. I have to wait till Monday, so the last day. But you know what? That's less money that I'm going to spend. So, but those are my badges. So Fridays is Han Solo, Saturday is Leia, Sunday is Cassian, and Monday is C-3PO R2-D2. I am not cosplaying as a Star Cruiser crew member. I don't want to take my costume. Hold that thought because I might be taking my costume. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to tell a funny story actually that happened today. So a funny story. But anyway, so my favorite out of these badges, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to talk so much about everything that's going on with Celebration right now with me. And I'm like going crazy. So I like the C-3PO and the best. C-3PO R2-D2. That's my favorite one. I love the coloring on that one. Honestly, there was a kids one that had Chopper, and that one was really cool. The Leia one? Yeah, the Leia one's cool. That's probably my second favorite because I love the green. I love her with the Endor. Obviously, they're doing the Return of the Jedi stuff, so a lot of the characters that they had, like the Luke one, all of it was Return of the Jedi. So, but yeah, I do like the Leia one. I love her like looking off into the distance there. It's pretty cool. I love that one. That's my second favorite. Can't really tell like which one's my third. Is it either the Han or the Cassian one? Honestly, there was some other ones that I would have preferred either than those. So, but if I'm gonna have Leia, I'd like to have Han. So the Cassian one kind of just like doesn't go with the four that I have, the other three that I have. So it would have been cool to have Luke. Maybe that would have been really cool. I think I would have liked the Luke one better than Cassian. So anyway, those are my badges. So pretty cool. Excited. Funny story. So I wanted to wear Luke is VIP. I know Luke is VIP. Of course, it's the Jedi Master one, and I think that's the only one that the Jedi Master on it. So of course that one's going to be the VIP. If I ever had the money. Anyway, funny story about me cosplaying. I was going to get the CSL engineering jumpsuit that is found in the Chandrila collection. I know it's just a child size, but they do have like an extra large child size. And I took it off the rack like a couple weeks ago, and I held it up to me, and I was like, from neck to ankles, it was the right size. And I was like, "Ooh, this might fit." And we've had other crew members try it on that are adults as in age. We have some tiny people on Star Cruiser, and it fit them really well. And actually, they weren't even wearing the biggest size. So I was like, I might be able to fit into it. So I was asking everybody. Some people were like, "Yeah, I think you could fit into it. I think you could fit into it." So I talked to somebody today, and I was like, I might want to like purchase it. Can I try it on to see if it fits, and then I'll purchase it? They were like, "Yeah, sure." So we went to the store, Went and grabbed one, went into the changing room, put it on. First leg in, great. Second leg in, great. Went to go pull it up, went to go throw that shoulder over. Didn't even get close to it. The crotch was way too tight. I couldn't even. So that shot that down. If I ever did get one later, I could probably modify it. I'd have to like cut it, maybe sew in a section to make it longer or whatever. But I don't have time to do that until I leave. Not with me working as much as I am before I'm leaving. So unfortunately, that's not happening. So you could go as Soprano Stave. I'm just doing casual. Honestly, t-shirts, pants. I'm taking my Star Cruiser launch crew gear to rep that. Some Halcyon shirts, from the Chandrila collection. So my Halcyon hat. I did get some Galactic Star Cruiser gear the other day. So I have the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser hat. I also have the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser t-shirt. So I'll be repping that. I also have some other shirts that were gifted to me that I'm not going to talk about because I want it to be a surprise when you see the posts. So I'll be wearing one of them on Saturday and then one of them on Monday. So one of them on Saturday, one of them on Monday. When I get there on Friday, first day on Friday, I think I'm going to rep Star Cruiser. No, I think I'm doing that on Sunday because I think the Sunday is the Disney Parks blog. So I think I'm going to be wearing my Star Cruiser launch crew shirt on Sunday. Friday, I don't know what I'm going to wear Friday yet. Maybe I'll do like Return of the Jedi stuff. I think I was going to, I was pretty, today I think I decided I was going to bring my Max Rebo farewell tour shirt. I think I might wear that on Friday. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to take much. So I want to have enough room to bring stuff back. So that's the key. I need enough room to bring stuff back. But yeah, I got to start packing tomorrow because I'm not going to have a lot of time. So I have a 30% off sign on your back. That's funny. Yeah, so can't wait. I can't wait. I actually reached out to Mike Celestino. I'm going to go to his panel, his podcast panel on Saturday. So I'm gonna. He's like, I want to meet you. So that's really cool. Can't wait to meet him. There's a couple other people. Star Cruiser annual pass folks get 30% off right now. Yes, and so do crew members that are on the cruise get a discount. So if I were to book a cruise, I would get my discount. I would get my discount if I booked a cruise. I can't get my discount if I buy, like, not on the ship. They won't allow me to use my discount. But if I was on the ship and I was a passenger, I would get my discount. So crew members get discounts. Crew members, cast members with Disney. Annual pass holders get a discount right now. Yep, they're doing more discounts, which is nice. That's always a nice thing. And my wife's a pass holder discount too. Pass holder, so she would get a discount. But if I'm with her, I get a discount. So, but and my discount's bigger. So, but yeah. So let's see what else. I was gonna say something else. Oh, so cosplaying as a Star Cruiser crew member. Don't know yet. So I have permission to share this because I got an email reply today. I asked how much I can share. Disney is doing a little spotlight on me as a Star Wars fan. So yeah, they found out that I was a crew member on the Halcyon. Huge Star Wars fan, and I'm going to London. So they reached out to me and they wanted to, they want to do like a little story on me afterwards. So when I get back, it's all going to be all about my experience at Star Wars Celebration, what my favorite things were that I saw, all that good stuff. The Star Wars fan community, what does it mean to me being a part of the fan community, and a little bit about like how maybe some things that happened at Celebration or just being a fan inspires me as a crew member on the Halcyon. So I am just super excited about that, beyond words. I found out about this last Friday morning, and I started telling people, and then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't tell people. So I reached out to the individual with the team, and she said, "Oh yeah, shoot, tell people, talk about it." And I'm gonna try to hopefully meet up with her before I go, so I can get a good idea of some things that can better help me maybe get a grasp of what they might be looking for me, just to kind of get it in my thoughts. But yeah, we're just super excited about that. This is going to be an amazing trip. We got some stuff planned afterwards. I'm a big music person, so we're going to do like a Beatles walking tour of London, going to Abbey Road. Can't wait to walk the crosswalk. It's kind of like one of those bucket list things, walk the steps of the Beatles. Yeah, there's just like so much cool stuff that I just can't wait. Can't wait to do. Really looking forward to getting back to London. I've been there before, but not this much time spent. So it'll be a lot of fun. One of my favorite bands. One of my favorite bands of all time, the Beatles. Yeah, I actually could have gone and seen Paul McCartney last year, but I was in Anaheim for Star Wars Celebration. So that's where it kind of, Star Wars trumps Beatles. But one day, if Paul comes around again, hopefully I'll get to see him before he stops touring. But yeah, Star Wars Celebration. So, probably going to be doing some lines, getting there early, trying to get into the live stage, things like that. If anything, getting into the secondary stages. We'll see what happens, because I really, 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 really just want to get into Celebration stage for Friday, Saturday is really the big ones for me. Because that the Friday one's the Lucasfilm one, the Saturday one is the Ahsoka one. I think I'm more excited about the Ahsoka one than anything. If I can get into the Ahsoka one, and that's the only one I can get into, that would be amazing. Who's the Boss live podcast is Saturday afternoon, so I plan on going to that. Sunday is the Disney Parks one. That's one of the big things. Exactly, new indie. I'm thinking we already got a trailer. I don't really know what much they're gonna do for the indie film at the LucasArts panel. Honestly, I don't even think that we'll get a lot. They might. Having a panel, Laughing Place. So, Mike Celestino works for Laughing Place. He's the Star Wars correspondent. So, I don't know Jeremiah. I think Jeremiah has been a guest of his before. But I like Mike. I'm gonna go see Mike for his panel, for his Who's the Boss panel. He does Laughing Place correspondence because he does all the Star Wars. Well, he's the West Coast Star Wars correspondent. But then he has his own podcast, Who's the Boss. So I'm more excited. I listen to Mike all the time. So super excited to see him. Might be the same. I was gonna say they might be doing the podcast together, but I'm pretty sure it's based off of his podcast, Who's the Boss, because I think that's actually what the panel's name is. So, help film Lotico. Okay, all right, cool. Jeremiah helped him film Lotico. Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, because that was amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to meet Mike. Looking forward to that. So yeah, he reached out to me. He said, "Looking forward to meeting you." So that's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of his. Big fan of his. Me and him have a lot of similarities too. Because when I listened to him when he did his Heroes interview, a lot of how he grew up with Star Wars A lot of similarities with him and me. I think we're about the same age too, honestly. Kind of pinpointed that as far as like how old he was with Star Wars growing up. I think we're pretty close in age. I think so. So yeah, it'd be cool to talk with him hopefully for a little bit. Maybe hang out with him for a little bit. That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm just on cloud nine right now. It's like it's so surreal that it's coming within a week almost of me leaving, and I haven't even started packing. Haven't even started packing. Man, okay, so Star Wars Celebration. By the way, I'm going to be doing of a lot of pictures, a lot of video. I'm still trying to figure out to make sure that I don't get like no crazy charges. I really want to live stream while I'm there. Oh, cool. That's awesome that you were interviewed. I'll have to go back and listen to that. That was probably like way before I started listening. That's cool. Yeah, maybe he'll have me on one day. That'd be cool. I'd love to do a podcast with him. Answer those cool 5 Star Wars questions in the beginning. That'd be great. I'll be a guest spot for anybody. I love talking Star Wars. So yeah, Celebration. Crazy. I haven't even looked at the merch yet. By the way, the merch. Oh my gosh. The merch came out today. Let's take a look at this. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's go back to Mandalorian for a minute. Let's look at this. So Mando Mania every Tuesday night. Mando Mania. What do we got? I honestly haven't even looked at this yet. So what do we got going for Mando Mania? We got Black Series Pike Soldier. That's pretty cool. So again, mainly kind of taken from Book of Boba Fett. They've been going with a lot of characters from Book of Boba Fett with the action figures being released every week. So the Pikes are cool. I love the way they look. Mandalorian themed soap collector box by Dr. Squatch. Beskar Tar. That's cool. And then Force Fresh. Cool name. I'd rather have the Beskar Tar. I wonder if it's 2-pack. Is it featuring Soap Arsenal and Spider? It doesn't say if it's a 2-pack or not. What else have we got? Star Wars: The Old Republic. What? Interesting. Mandalorian Nomad armor arrives with a game update. I'm not a gamer. I don't play that, but that's pretty cool. I like the Old Republic games. I played the original. It was a lot of fun. Grogu porcelain sculpture. That looks beautiful. That looks pretty cool. I have Disney porcelain stuff. Grogu Easter plush. That's pretty cute. That's a Target exclusive. Interesting. Head out to Target if you need that. Well, that's pretty neat. Anyway, that's pretty cool. So those are some Mando Monday releases. Let's see here. Let's go because I want to look at the Celebration merch because I haven't looked at that yet. Because I knew that I was actually leaving work today, and one of my fellow crew members let me know that they released a bunch of merch. One of them actually is a huge Cobb Vanth fan and asked me to get her the pin, which I forgot to see anything about that. So let's take a look at that. Cool. So let's see here. All right, so let's share. Let me share my screen again. And let's look at some of the exclusives from Celebration. So we got Star Wars Celebration Europe Union Jack coffee mug. I got enough coffee mugs. Ahsoka logo t-shirt. Actually, I have an Ahsoka t-shirt from last year. It's black. I like mine better. I will probably wear that on Saturday morning. There's some days that I'm gonna wear 2 t-shirts. So for the Ahsoka panel, I'm definitely wearing my Ahsoka shirt. It looks almost identical to that. Without the world between worlds looks like. Ooh, I wonder if that means that's going to be part of the episode. Or the part of the series, the world between worlds. I don't know, but mine's black. It just has the Ahsoka writing on there, so. What else do we got? The Mandalorian Armorer's Crest t-shirt. That's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Ooh, this is going to be a buy for me if I can get it. If I can get this, this is mine. Blue Harvest snapback hat. Definitely going to have that. That's going to be me. As soon as I buy it, I'm going to be rocking it. Death Star pattern button-down shirt. I'd like to see that for real, because that is definitely a concept art. That is not the real shirt. I don't know. It looks like you're wearing suspenders. What else we got? Emperor Palpatine floaty pen. Yeah, I'm not big on pens. This is cool. An Ewok Village Terranium. I wonder if it's a snow globe type. I wonder if you shake it up. I had this cool thing. I don't know if I ever showed this or not. It was like a little Hoth one. It's pretty cool. With the Wampa in it. That was pretty neat. Anyway, I doubt I'd get that. That just seems like it would break on the way home. Ewok nesting dolls. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I like cheesy little toys. I like all that cool stuff from the Toydarian Toy Maker. So, Grogu's Squid and Chips. Okay, that's cool. Because, in the UK, fish and chips, squid and chips. Kind of like it. I don't know if I'd buy it, though. Narkina 5 Prison long sleeve t-shirt. White, though. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that. We'll see. That might be one that I get. Rancor bottle opener. Ooh. It looks like you'd have to attach that to something, though. Interesting. I don't know. Return of the Jedi 40th quarter sleeve. I don't like quarter sleeve stuff. I like the shirt, but Return of the Jedi final battle patch. Not a big patch person. Return of the Jedi 4. Ooh, denim jacket. Oh. That might be mine. If I can get that, that might be mine. Oh, that is awesome. Return of the Jedi 40th souvenir jacket. I like the denim jacket better. Ooh, Revenge of the Jedi's t-shirt. I think I might get that too. Celebration Europe art football jersey. Yeah, no. Skateboard deck. Yeah, I don't skateboard. Candle in a C-3PO glass holder. That just kind of seems like a waste. A blue tea. See, that would break too. I'd be too afraid that that's going to break on the way home. A lot of cool merch. I didn't see the pins. I didn't see anything about pins. Co-worker said that there was a Cobb Vanth pins. I don't know how she saw that. Anyway, cool merch. That's cool. Oops, let me close this because I want to get back to me. There we go. That's pretty cool. So there's some new store exclusives at Star Wars Celebration. So yeah, a lot of stuff that I can already see me getting. Man, I am like totally. I'm already at like an hour, and there was a couple things that I haven't even talked about yet. So I'm gonna try to kind of go through these last things kind of quick. Anyway, today in Star Wars history, we had this happen. That's kind of bad. Anyway, but let's see if I can't enlarge that a little bit. Do close that. Where is that page? Let's see. Does that help? See a little bit better? There we go. Look at that. Today in Star Wars history. So this was in 1985. I unfortunately did not get to see this. Um, the Star Wars Saga Triple Bill. I know they've done marathons before, like even recently. They've done more of these, and I've always wanted to do this, and I've never done it. Is see all three movies back to back. It's just never happened where I've been able to do that. But this would have been cool to see at that time. It was the first time that they were all shown together. So 1985, March 28th. It was screened in 9 cities in the U.S. and Canada. 9 cities in the U.S. and Canada. Curious if anybody went and saw that. Mike, Heroes, anybody? Did you guys see that? Triple bill when it came out? If you're watching this later and you did, definitely tell me. Let me know what that was like. It's pretty cool. That's something that I would have loved to have been able to do. Is see, and like I said, it's been done again. I've never been able to like do that. So, but yeah, that's just a cool little today in Star Wars history. Also, I got my crucial character pick of the month. So obviously this is something if you're not familiar with, and you can go back and it was usually at the end of the month or halfway through the month, my episode, and I usually put it in the description anyway. My crucial character picks of the month. And did not play here in Arizona, but there was an article in the local paper. Oh, cool. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what the 9 cities were. I probably guessing that there probably was one around Maryland, either the DC area or something. Probably close by. Most likely in DC, Washington, DC, which would have been a place that I would have been able to go to with my parents driving me, of course, or getting me there. But anyway, my crucial character pick of the month. So my first 3 were the original trilogy. Then I went to the prequels. Now I am in the sequel trilogy. So The Force Awakens. So I was going through The Force Awakens, watching that the other day. And Maz's Castle has some really cool... I love Maz's Castle in Takodana. I mean, I named my cat Maz. So, you know. Maz. I named my cat Maz because I love Maz so much. And I love all the creatures. It's kind of like the Cantina. I like, everybody kind of knocks on J.J. Abrams because he paralleled it so much to A New Hope, but he did such a great job with that. And I loved going into Takodana and seeing her castle and all the Cantina people. And, the cool thing about Maz's castle is she allowed droids. So this was my first crucial character pick that's actually a droid. And it is MEAD 8D9. ME 8D9, which is also known as Emmy. Yeah, cool history about that droid. You can look through some of the... there's some other reference materials on her, which tells some cool backstories with her being a... going all the way back, like literally going all the way back to the Jedi Order. So long lifespan of that droid. Seen a lot, and yeah. So we get stories of her from back during that time, as kind of like a peace droid, like literally breaking up a fight. I don't really know I can't remember like what her actual like role was during that time, but yeah, apparently once known to be an assassin. So, which you can, I mean, if you look at the character, so you look at the character, you can kind of tell that she does look like an assassin almost. Let me actually pull up ME89, ME8D9, and I'm gonna show her because she looks really cool. I just love the style of the droid. Like literally, like when I like saw her in the movie, in the film, and I was like, oh, that's a cool looking droid. So let me share my screen again. Right. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Ah, look at that droid. Awesome looking. Kind of like has like a crab like head. I love her. And then like a little bit of C3PO going on there in like the chest. Cool like pointed shoulders. There we go. Better shot. Better shot. Pointed shoulders. Look at that droid. Awesome looking. I love the bronze color, kind of steampunky. Um, uh, just so cool. Those alien bug eyes. Such a masterpiece. You gotta like really hand it to like the creators that come up with these characters. Even the minor background characters. That's what just I love about some of the minor background characters in Star Wars. They just look so awesome, and you just want to know their stories so much. But yeah, so a lot of history with this droid. Was helping Maz run the castle, so pretty cool. Dealt with some stuff going on in the castle with people that were not the best customers of Maz. So was there at the end when the Hosnian Cataclysm, we saw Emmy come out and be with everybody when they were looking up to the sky and saw Starkiller Base unleashing its power at that point in time. So really cool. Was actually portrayed by Stephanie Silva in The Force Awakens, who was not credited that as, but just basically attributed for work as a creature and droid performer on the movie. But yeah, a lot of appearances within Star Wars Aftermath, Life Debt. So if you've read that, that's where I also came across some of the backstory, as well as some other small stories as well. But also the time frame from like way back is in the High Republic Adventures #1. So pretty cool. All the way to the High Republic, all the way to the Force Awakens era time period. So 34 years after the Battle of Yavin, around that time. So ME89, Emmy. And there is merch for Emmy. There's some cool merch for Emmy. Let me hide this real quick. I'm going to pull up the cool merch, because obviously I want to, like, all my crucial characters that I find, I want to get at some point. I want to get these crucial characters, and I want to put them like all up on my wall at some point. But there is a cool Funko. I want to get a better picture of this Funko. Really cool Funko. Not really a lot of good fun. There's also some pins. Nobody has a good picture. Everybody's got it in the box. But I might be able to find this Funko, honestly, because you can find a lot of Funkos at Celebration. So this is going to be something that I might be able to find pretty cheap at Star Wars Celebration. Ugh. I wish I could show it. I wish. Anyway. Well, I could share this part of my screen anyway. Let's just do this. So, a lot of cool... There we go. Let's do this. That went to a side view. Like $28. There we go. ME89. Cool, right? There's another picture. Every time I go to it goes to a side view. There we go. Cool. All these like are... Ooh, that one's looking like $14. I might be able to get it pretty cheap. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, it'd be cool to have that droid. I'm not big into Funko Pops, but I would definitely buy that one. Definitely buy that one. So yeah, pretty awesome. No vintage collection figure yet. Come on, Hasbro. Yeah, right. Nope. Yeah, I mean, honestly, every character that I've kind of thrown out there in all these episodes with these crucial characters that I love, I only have a Dianoga. That was my first one. But all the other ones pretty much have like a black series or a vintage figure or something that I'll probably be trying to pick up at some point. The only one that does not have a character is Padme's mom, Jo Baldner-Berry. No merchandise that I can find anywhere. So why no love for the Naberi family? Why no love? Anyway, that is it. That is it for tonight. Have fun watching the last 2 episodes of Bad Batch. Have fun watching the next episode of The Mandalorian. I'm going to keep watching Star Wars tonight. And then tomorrow I'll be doing some packing and watching those episodes. So hope everybody had a great time tonight. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining in, Mike. Thank you for joining in, my Heroes of the Halcyon. Thank you for some of those recent gifts. You will be seeing those in my post when I'm at Celebration, because I'm definitely going to be sporting some of that gear. And hope everyone has a great night. I saw some cool passengers on the Halcyon today that I've seen in previous voyages. It's great to see people returning. We had somebody return for their 4th voyage and then someone returning from their 2nd voyage. So it's great to have people. When I get back from Celebration, we're going to have that awesome May the 3rd trip coming up very soon with the Star Cruiser muster meetup that Heroes of the Halcyon have been putting together. And that is going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. We're going to have a lot of fun for that. And then I can't wait to be on Batu when everybody is there that day. So we're going to have a great time coming up here with Star Wars in the next couple months. And not too far off, I think Ahsoka is going to be starting. So hopefully we get to see a little bit more of Ahsoka next week. Next Saturday, a week from Saturday. Guessing we're going to get some more Ahsoka content. So can't wait for that. Again, thank you for joining. It's long overdue. I don't like to go over an hour with this, so let's call it a night. Get some sleep tonight. Be ready for Mandalorian and Bad Batch tomorrow morning. Have a great night. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. This has been a Crucial Crew podcast. This is the Space Oats podcast. May the stars ever light your way.